The opening bell on the New York Stock Exchange this past week featuring members of the New York, New Jersey World Cup host committee. Now less than a year until the first World Cup match kicks off in the United States, the final taking place at MetLife Stadium. A major event and a major undertaking with billions projected in economic impact. Alex Lasry, the former Bucks executive and former U.S. Senate candidate, is CEO of the New York, New Jersey host committee, and he joins us now. Alex, good to see you. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
First, bring me back to New York, the New York Stock Exchange. What is it like to be standing up there looking across?
It is a surreal experience. It was one that, we were able to, really honor the fact that, we're a year out from the finals that'll be hosted at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And to be able to kind of have all of our partners, all of our staff and team, and to do something that iconic. That is kind of like a bucket list item to be able to, stand up there and ring the stock exchange bell. And so to have had that moment and to be able to do that was really cool. I think I can finally say that's something that I've done that my dad hasn't.
There you go. You are CEO of the New York, New Jersey host committee. What does that mean? What is your to-do list now for the next year?
Yeah, so for us, what I look at, for our job as the host committee is kind of four pillars. So security, transportation, fan engagement, and economic impact. And so those four things, if we're able to knock that out of the park, we'll have had a very successful World Cup. So making sure the games are safe and secure, making sure transportation to the games or to our fan fest are seamless and efficient, ensuring that all the fans there have a great time and feel engaged. One of the things is MetLife Stadium only holds 80,000 people, but there will be millions of people coming for the World Cup. So most of the people won't actually step foot inside the stadium. So how are we making sure that they're engaged and being able to take part in all that the World Cup has to offer? And then the economic impact. As you said, we're going to have over $3 billion of economic impact for the region, over $30 billion of economic impact for the entire country. So this is a big deal, not just for the region, but for the United States.
When we hear host committee in Milwaukee, we may initially think of RNC and DNC coming off that. Is it similar to that in terms of responsibility, but just on a larger scale?
Yes. It's just the scale and scope of this is unlike anything we've ever seen, right? This will be the largest event in human history. The World Cup, when we think of what it is, the last World Cup final was viewed by the same amount of people as the last 13 Super Bowls combined.
Games are going to take place in nearly a dozen cities across the country. Kansas City, the closest to here in Wisconsin. What is the impact going to look like broadly just across the country?
I think when you look at the close to 7 million visitors that are going to be coming to experience the World Cup, and again, there's over 100 matches over the course of 39 days, but a lot of people won't actually be going to the games, and so people travel to World Cups just to partake and be a part of all that the World Cup has to offer. And so I've spoken with leaders even in Milwaukee about what we can do to ensure that that people are coming to visit Milwaukee, to come to watch parties, to be part of kind of the fervor and fever that the World Cup is going to have.
There will, of course, be a ton of foreign visitors coming to the country. Vice President Vance recently said, everyone is welcome to come and see this incredible event, but when the time is up, they'll have to go home. Otherwise, they'll have to talk with Secretary Noem. Curious your thoughts on that from the administration.
Look, I've been very focused on making sure that our region and the region that I'm running is ready to welcome the world. This World Cup can only be successful if we are welcoming the world to attend. And so I've been working with the World Cup Task Force and my partners in New York State, in New Jersey, in New York City, on how do we make sure that people know to apply for visas so that they can come to the World Cup. I know that FIFA is working extremely closely with the administration and the importance on ensuring that people who want to come to the World Cup are able to go through the visa process and not have things hung up. And so I think for us, we want to make sure that we're able to welcome the world here. This is only going to be successful as the world's event if people are able to come from all around the world.
The countdown is definitely on. Alex Lasry, the CEO of the New York, New Jersey host committee. Alex, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy in Wisconsin. Inside the visit, our questions and the push to modernize air traffic control.